Hey guys, so this is our first lesson of the year here. We're going to start with lesson 1-2, and I hope that you've taken time to read the lesson ahead of time. Okay, we're talking about limits, and we talked about limits last year in pre-calculus, so you should know a little bit about those. So this first one that we're going to look at here is find the limit of f of x which equals x cubed minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Now, if you remember from last year, remember the denominator of a rational function can never be 0, okay? Because then that makes this undefined. So this looks just like a parabola, except that it has a hole at 1, because I can't put 1 in here because then I get 0 in the denominator, okay? So one of the techniques you can use to find a limit, in a lot of cases, it's slow and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but we can look at values of things near that. Okay, so what I did was I made a chart here, and on one side we go from 0.75 to 0.9 to 0.99 to 0.999. Then obviously at 1 we're undefined. And the other side, we're looking at 1.001, 1.01, 1.1, and 1.25. We're going to see when we take these values and we plug them in here, we're going to see what values we get and see if they tell us anything about this. So if I were to plug these into my calculator, I would get that this value here is 2.3125. Okay, I just put 0.75 in here and 0.75 in here and figure out what the answer is. If I plug in 0.9, I'm going to get 2.71. If I plug in 0.99, I'm going to get 2.9701. And if I plug in 0.999, I'm going to get 2.997. Okay, you can kind of see what's going on here already. You might be able to guess what this limit is, but I wouldn't do that yet. Okay, so we're going to look at the other side of this thing and see what happens over there. Okay, so we plug in 1.25 and we get 3.8185. Here we would get at 1.1, we'd plug in and we get 3.31. Plug in 1.01 and we get 3.031. And we plug in 1.001 and we get 3.003. And now you can see what's happening here. This side here is getting closer and closer to 3 from the bottom. This side over here is closer and closer to 3 from the top. And since we're approaching the same number from both directions, this thing has a limit. And we write the limit as x goes to 1 of x cubed minus 1 divided by x minus 1 equals 3. Now, you can see if I had to plug each one of those numbers in there, that's a lot of work. It's not very fun. We probably want to have a better technique than that, which we will, but you are going to have to do a couple like this.